Something feels different around Hallis Hall right now. You can sense it in the air. We are all waiting for that one final piece to make this defense truly elite. Being a real Bears fan means knowing that our window is opening. But the secondary still feels like a gamble. We want that Super Bowl glory, and the faithful deserve a roster that leaves no doubt. Before we dive into this massive update that could change everything for our secondary, hit that like button and subscribe. If you are a diehard Chicago fan, you need to stay tuned for this. The news just broke, and it feels like the kind of opportunity Ryan Poles lives for. L'Jarius Sneed is officially back on the radar. For months, there was this cloud of legal uncertainty hanging over him, and teams were keeping their distance. But Adam Schefter just confirmed that all charges have been dismissed. Sneed is walking away without a conviction or even an admission of guilt. This is huge because it changes the entire market landscape in an instant. Now think about our current situation. We have Jaylon Johnson, who is an absolute lockdown corner, but the spot opposite him is a massive question mark. Tyrique Stevenson had a 2025 season that honestly left a lot of us feeling nervous. He saw his role reduced because the play just was not where it needed to be. That is why we drafted Malik Muhammad in the 4th round. We were looking for competition, looking for a long-term fix. But let us be real here for a second. Relying on a 4th-round rookie to solve a major defensive hole during a season where we expect to compete for a title is a scary proposition. This is where the Sneed situation gets so incredibly interesting. He was an elite, top-tier corner with the Chiefs just a couple years ago. He got that massive deal with the Titans, but then injuries and these legal issues derailed everything. Now he is sitting there as a free agent, and the report is that he might be looking for a 1-year prove-it deal. This is not just about adding a body to the room. It is about the philosophy of this team. Ryan Poles has shown he is willing to wait for the right value. He does not overspend if he does not have to. But he also knows when a championship window requires a veteran presence. Sneed brings that Super Bowl pedigree. He knows what it takes to play at the highest level in January. If the Bears can bring him in on a cheap deal with 0 strings attached, the emotional lift for this city would be insane. It sends a message that we are not just content with being good. We want to be dominant. The tension is building because we know the talent is there, but we need to see if the front office strikes. When you look at the risks of the current roster, you start to see why this move feels almost mandatory. We saw the frustration last year. Tyrique Stevenson struggled, and when your secondary starts to leak, the whole defensive identity crumbles. It puts too much pressure on the pass rush and leaves the safeties exposed. We cannot afford that. Now Malik Muhammad is exciting. Every fan loves a draft pick with upside. But the transition to the NFL is hard, and there is absolutely no guarantee he is ready to start from day one. If Stevenson has not fixed the issues that led to his benching in 2025, we are staring at a serious liability on the outside. That is why the name L'Jarius Sneed carries so much weight right now. The emotional impact of having a veteran like that in the room cannot be overstated. Imagine the mentorship for Muhammad. Imagine the confidence it gives the rest of the defense knowing that both sides of the field are locked down. The risk of signing Sneed is practically non-existent if it is a 1-year deal. If he does not have the speed anymore, or if the injuries have taken too much of a toll, you can move on. But if he has even 70% of that Chiefs-era magic left in his legs, he is instantly better than what we have behind Jaylon Johnson. It is about protecting the investment we have made in this team. We have spent so much energy building this culture. We have spent so much draft capital and money making the Bears relevant again. To let the cornerback position be the weak link would be heartbreaking for the faithful. The pressure on Ryan Poles is real. Fans are watching and wondering if he will take the swing. This is not just about a roster spot. It is about the signal it sends to the locker room. It says we are in it to win now. We are not waiting for 2027 or 2028. The news that his legal troubles are gone removes the biggest hurdle. The path is clear. The question is whether the Bears view Sneed as a savior or just another name on a list. Personally, I think the uncertainty of Stevenson development makes this a high-stakes decision that could define our defensive success. This is where the narrative really starts to shift toward the future of this franchise. If we land Sneed, the entire dynamic of the NFC North changes. Think about the weapons we have to face in this division. You cannot survive without elite secondary play. But here is the biggest thing we need to consider. What if Sneed is actually healthy? What if those injury concerns with the Titans were more about the environment and less about his physical ceiling? If he comes to Chicago with a chip on his shoulder, looking to prove the entire league wrong, we might be looking at the best cornerback duo in the NFL. That is the dream scenario that keeps fans up at night. But there is also the tension of the unknown. We do not know for sure if the league will still try to impose some kind of discipline, though Schefter report makes it sound like he is in the clear. The suspense of waiting for the other shoe to drop is intense. We have seen this story before where the Bears are linked to a big name, and then we watch them sign elsewhere and thrive. We cannot let that happen this time. Not when the price is expected to be this low. The emotional looping of this situation always comes back to the Super Bowl window. Every move Poles makes is scrutinized under that lens. We are building something special, but it feels fragile. One injury to Jalen Johnson right now would be catastrophic for this team. Adding Snead provides that veteran insurance policy that every contender needs. It creates a competitive fire in training camp. It tells Tariq Stevenson that his spot is not guaranteed and he has to earn it. It tells Malik Muhammad that he has time to grow without the pressure of being the savior. This is how you build a winning culture. You bring in winners. You bring in guys who have rings. Snead has been to the mountaintop. He knows the preparation it takes. That kind of experience is priceless for a young locker room. The more you think about it, the more it feels like this is not just a rumor. It feels like a necessity. The implications of passing on this could be something we regret all season long if our secondary struggles. The fan base is ready for a move. I am going to be honest with you all. This actually worries me a little bit, but in a way that makes me excited. It worries me because if we do not make this move, I will always wonder what if. I really like the idea of Ryan Poles being the one to give Snead that second chance. We have seen Poles find value in places other teams overlook. This feels like the ultimate Poles move. It is low risk and potentially season-altering reward. I think fans should pay attention to the timing here. The fact that the charges were dismissed right as we are heading into this phase of the offseason is perfect. It gives the front office time to do their due diligence. I am cautiously optimistic, but I have been a Bears fan long enough to know that nothing is a sure thing until the contract is signed. There is still that tiny bit of doubt. Will another team jump in and overpay? Will Snead want to go back to a contender he is more familiar with? We have to sell him on the vision of Chicago. We have to make him feel like he is the missing piece of a legendary defense. I truly believe that if he lands here, the energy at Soldier Field will be electric. We have been waiting for a defense that strikes fear into opponents again. Pairing Snead with the talent we already have could be the spark that ignites a deep playoff run. But honestly, if we pass, and he goes to someone like the Lions or the Packers, it would be a bitter pill to swallow. We cannot afford to let a rival get stronger while we stay stagnant. That is where the emotional tension really hits home for me. It is not just about us getting better. It is about the landscape of the division. I want to see the Bears be the predators, not the prey. This move is about taking control of our own destiny. It is about recognizing that the time for rebuilding is over. We are in the winning phase now. Every decision needs to reflect that. I hope the front office sees it the same way. The buzz is real, the potential is massive, and the weight is becoming almost unbearable. This is what it means to be part of the faithful. The story of this offseason is far from over, and the L'Jarius Sneed situation is now at the very center of it. We are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to a secondary that is solidified with veteran greatness, and the other leads to a season of uncertainty and hoping our young players can make an impossible leap. The implications of what Ryan Poles does next will be felt for years to any fan who understands the value of a lockdown defense. We are all waiting, watching the reports and hoping for that breakthrough. This is the moment where we find out just how aggressive this front office is willing to be to bring a trophy back to Chicago. It is a time for hope, but also a time for a little bit of nervous energy. That is the beauty of being a Bears fan. We are always one move away from something incredible. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you think Snead is the missing piece? Should Poles pull the trigger on a one-year deal right now, or are you comfortable rolling with Stevenson and Muhammad? Let us get a real discussion going, because this is about the future of our franchise. Do not forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on every single twist and turn in this saga. We are the faithful, and we are in this together. The journey to the Super Bowl continues, and it might just go through this one major signing.